As soon as we get done with the opener, yes, you can.
I just want to make sure.
You'll be fine, Mrs.
Was there an accident last night?
Yes, there was a
Where was
fatal.
it at?
I-69 at mile marker 68.
He's going to count you down.
Hello and welcome to WHSH TV. I'm Dwayne Shake and with me is JJ Brown. We, along with Angela Barnard, are the instructors here in the radio TV class at WHSH TV. As is tradition in our class, this is the final edition of news for another school year, and the instructors will serve as the anchors as the students work behind the scenes to produce this edition of our final news. On today's show, we go back through the archives to highlight some of our favorite stories we found in 2019. We also produced student bloopers on camera from the past year for you to enjoy.
In sports, Mrs. Barnard will recap last night's Washington heartbreaking loss at home, and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird are going to be honored with big awards this year to highlight the biggest game to date ever, seen on TV in college basketball. Plus, I will tell you all about the weather, which will start off great for the weekend, but as expected, end wet by Sunday.
All that and much more. It's Thursday, May 16th, and you're watching WHSH TV. Welcome back to WHSH TV. Last night, Davies County Sheriff's officials, Indiana State Police, and local fire units were on the scene of a fatal accident that occurred at Interstate 69 on mile marker 68. Authorities can now report that it was fatal and a female was involved in the accident. Davies County Sheriff Gary Allison tells us that reports were filed of a reckless driver on I-69 just after 9 p.m. yesterday evening. The same vehicle is expected to be the one involved in the accident, which went over the barrier and into the water, caught fire, and again, the person involved was later pronounced dead. No names have been released at this time as the report is still being filed. Today was the annual Davies County Chamber golf outing at the Country Oaks Golf Course in Montgomery. Over 100 golfers were on hand as they continue to finish their games today. It is the single biggest event for the Davies County Chamber of Commerce as local businesses and employees from those businesses network with fellow employees of neighboring businesses to talk golf, talk business, and have some fun on the golf course today. The event started at 11 o'clock with lunch and a shotgun start at 12 noon. First place receives $500. They have second and third place prizes also awarded. Again, the event, the single biggest fundraiser for the Davies County Chamber of Commerce each year, and the Golf Scramble should be wrapping up right about this hour at Country Oaks Golf Course in Montgomery. As we look back this year at WHSH TV and some of our favorite stories, this one was certainly one of the big highlights as we had a chance to learn more about the LAMP training that was held here at Washington High School earlier this year. We got a chance to meet a very interesting individual named Bach Shelton, who really gave us an outlook on technology and what it means to some very special people.
My name is Kelsey Miller. I'm a speech language pathologist with the Davies Martin Special Ed Co-op, and I primarily work with the preschools, and I'm here today to kind of help with the LAMP training that's happening at the high school. I've been through this course a few years ago, so I'm just kind of here to be a helper and to observe what's happening, and I'll let my friend introduce himself.
Everyone. My name is Bach Shelton. I use a communication device, as you can see, and it helps
Very proficient with his communication device, so working in preschools, this is my end goal, and I don't often get to see full sentences and conversation, and it's so good to see. So we have special education teachers here, we have parents here, and we have other speech pathologists who are here learning about these systems.
Yes.
Yeah, and learning about the language that goes into building these systems. And the program that we're learning about today is called LAMP. It's Language Acquisition Through Motor Planning. And so it's not about just learning words, it's not about just learning pictures, it's about learning motor planning with your fingers. I have a student in preschool who uses a communication device with her eyes. So she uses eye gaze to communicate, and she is a fascinating little girl, and I'm so excited to hopefully show her some videos of Bach so she can see what her future looks like with communicating with her peers and everyone around her.
LAMP is like whenever you buy something new, you have to retrain your brain to become more familiar to the thing that you bought.
So it takes a lot of practice, it takes patience.
Yes.
Yeah, speaker and listener, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you come from to get to Washington, Indiana?
I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And so part of your job is to travel around with PRC
Yes.
and to teach others about how you communicate.
Yes. And to go to conferences. Yes, and to go to conferences.
So what is your favorite part about teaching people about communication devices?
Whenever their faces lights up to get it.
Absolutely. Let's see, anything else you want to tell these students watching today?
Whenever you see someone who is disabled, just go up there and just to talk to them, and do not be scared. After all, we need a friend too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bach, for talking with us and sharing with us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What an amazing story and an amazing individual, and also an amazing teacher there in Kelsey Miller. Thank you for sharing your time with us. A little side note to that story, the students came back after recording that interview, and they were a little somber after that one, just really moving, one of our favorite interviews from this past year. Another one we did this year, as we highlight and wrap up a school year, we get a chance to take a look at some of the teachers and administrators that will be leaving us here at Washington High School following the end of this school year. Here's a look back at some of those teachers who are retiring this year.
Well, anybody who's had that much experience has lots of them. Some of the ones would be when we do end of the year projects. because you know the students so much better by that time. You have a rapport with them, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable that you know them so well and know what they need. Going to Envirothon competitions up at Purdue University, and watching those students' success, and a lot of memorable memories with the staff that I work with here. That's probably been extremely gratifying. Well, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and my husband's from Pennsylvania, and I was working in Delaware because I was working for Purdue Farms Incorporated. And once we had a child, I was so far from home and found out that Washington had a new turkey plant. And I said to my husband, I said, you got to get a transfer there. You have to get a transfer there. And I moved here sight unseen. He came out and looked around, told me it was rolling hills. I kind of think those weren't the rolling hills I was thinking of, but we've been here. So I'd be the one that you didn't want to see approaching your department, because I was there probably to tell you to do something different or faster or in some other ways. But and then I got into production, and also worked for Purdue Farms out here for 9 months. No, we've been kind of cheating and traveling the past few years while I've still been teaching on spring breaks and fall breaks, and gotten to go on some fabulous trips. And so I don't want to go anywhere twice, so I still have quite a few things on my list of things to visit. Try to stay in the moment and don't think about all what's on your plate, and enjoy the time that you're teaching and spending with the students that you're with. Being around people and interacting, the camaraderie of the people that I work with, again, that's going to be something that I'll miss dearly.
Okay, I'm Chief Reister, Barry Reister, and I'm the Naval Science Instructor, the enlisted instructor at Washington High School for the NJROTC program. Well, when I leave, it'll be 19 years in August. Well, June 30th is my last day, so 2 months later it'll be 19 years. I think when we went to Orlando on a field trip, Orlando, Florida, where we stayed in a pretty nice hotel. The cadets were very well behaved. They did a good job there. And a lot of the things that we saw there were very interesting. Museums, things like that. And it was just an all-around good trip, probably the best one, except for maybe Washington, D.C. once or twice. And with the kids there and the chaperones, it just sort of clicked. Both of those trips just sort of clicked. I think spending more time with my family and doing some other things that I like to do, like fishing, you know, play at a little golf. I don't really play golf that well, but I play at it. And just mostly being with the family. Well, we do want to travel a little bit. We've got some family that has moved down to Florida. They're like snowbirds down there, so we may wind up spending a little time with them down there, and maybe a couple of years during the winter months. But I'd like to go out west and see a little more of that. Nothing real specific as far as what we want to see, just go. I would say don't give up. Just and try to keep your cool, because that's something that I had trouble with in my early years. Anytime I ever managed to do it, it worked out a lot better than just losing your temper. Things got done, and it was more of a more pleasant conclusion for everybody. So that's what I would say. Don't give up and just keep your cool. It's not for everybody. I'll tell anybody that. The NJROTC program is a very structured program. You've got to come in with the idea that number one, you're here to learn, and number two, some of the things that you're going to learn may be a little bit difficult, but it's not difficult for everybody. If you're willing to learn and adapt to the military style of discipline, it could be very, very rewarding, but you need to think about it. That's what I would say, think about it. Just that, you know, when I was hired on here as a teacher, that was the last thing on my mind, is teaching. But I was a teacher for half of my career in the Navy, but I taught adults. teaching adults is a whole lot different than teaching high school age kids. And there are some curveballs that you're going to have to be ready for when you walk into a classroom. So it's been a very, very, very good experience for me. I wouldn't trade anything, even the bad things, even the things that someone might look like as, well, that wasn't very good, because you always learn from them. You learn something from them, and that's what I would say.
As the end of the video said, thank you to each of those teachers, Mrs. Schaefer, Mr. Miller, and Captain Reister. We appreciate your years of service to us here at Washington High School and wish you nothing but the best in retirement. Let's go over to the Weather Center and find out the latest in weather as we look to the weekend. It looks like finally a dry few days. JJ, what you got in the weather department?
Weather, currently it is partly sunny today with a high of 83, and then going into tonight, it'll be more partly cloudy with the lows around 66. For your weekend, Saturday will be mostly sunny, really beautiful weather, highs around 87, lows around 68 going into the night. And on Sunday, it'll be a little wet, severe thunderstorms with high of 77, low around 59. Back to you, Dwayne.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. Appreciate that report. We had some fun with this one. Our next story is the infamous blooper reel. Over the past semester, we've had a chance to have some fun with these students of the radio TV class. And what you don't see on camera, you're about to see right now. So be ready as we go to the blooper reel.
Clint's Weekly Review.
Nate's Holy Beat.
So, Brooks, what do you like to do when the weather was warm out?
I like to wear sunglasses and jean shorts, and I have a real passion for sailing.
Well, you know, I'm like the Dr. Phil of the hallway beat here at Washington High School, so I think pretty highly of it myself.
It's true. So, Jaden, do you have any scheduled events that you have to make an appearance at over your spring break?
Well, Brooks, I've been working a lot recently, and my plans are basically to just stay home and sleep, get some much-needed rest that I haven't been able to get from these past couple weeks.
Of course.
Do you have any plans this spring break?
I plan on saving some big money at Menards.
As we wrap up today's show, we head back to the hallways this week to find out plans for prom. The Washington High School prom will be May 4th this year. Nate,
Habits you like to talk about?
I win too much. That's some of my bad habits. I have a passion for winning. I like to win a lot. So, Jaden, do you have any bad habits that you'd like to share with everybody on WHSH?
The only thing that I could think of is I care too much, and I work too hard a lot, and it's really putting a hindrance on my life, unfortunately, and I'm trying to get that back together.
Yeah. All right.
The Chuck Harmon Little League will be celebrating opening day tomorrow at the sports complex. Ty Madison is once again the president, and he has been working for the past couple of years on several upgrades and renovations at the complex. This just in, breaking news, that it has been canceled for tomorrow, so don't even bother showing up. Did I really just say that and we're on a commercial? Oh. One of the most notable is the new concrete paths at the complex leading to each field. The new paths make the fields handicap accessible.
What's going to go down at the senior and faculty game?
If you could give me just 1 second, I have one little thing. The senior versus faculty is...
And for your Monday, we have a 50% chance of rain, a high at 61. And Tuesday, 40% chance of rain after 1 p.m., partly sunny, highs around near 53. And Wednesday, rain likely, cloudy with a high near 56. And that is your weekly forecast. I'm Bruce Robinson, WHSH TV.
Thanks, Austin. On behalf of our entire team here at WHSH on the campus of Washington High School, we would like to thank everyone for watching. Have a great weekend.
Mr. Sam Halbert. What are your plans for this year's Valentine's Day?
Well, as of now, Colin, I have a fat ribeye marinating in the freezer.
You're gonna ask me what I'm doing on Valentine's
Sounds
Day?
like a good time.
I'm gonna say, no, mate.
And Brooks, what do you think you're going to do this Valentine's Day?
Actually, I plan on taking my girlfriend out for a nice seafood dinner.
Hope that becomes a very eventful night for you.
Me too.
So Tater, what you got any crazy prom experiences?
I have gotten some. I went to the bathroom one time and I saw a few of the guys in there playing Duck, Duck, Goose.
Really?
Yeah.
There's Washington prom, right?
Yeah, have you seen anything crazy?
No, I'm going for my first time this year.
Oh, good.
On behalf of our entire...
That's a wrap, folks.
As you can see in our blooper reel, we have a lot of fun in the radio TV class. I've had a great group of students this year, and each and every one of them done a tremendous job. We look forward to next year and all the students coming back for radio TV. It's our pleasure to bring it to you each and every week here on WHSH. With that being said, we've got one final movie review from our movie critic, Clint Ivey, who has been the man all year, giving you the ins and outs, the scoops, the good and the bad of the hot movies at the box office. And this time we're going to flash back to see what Clint has on his mind this week with our movie review.
Clint's Weekly Review.
Hello, I'm Clint Ivey from WHSH TV, and it's time for your weekly review. This will be my final movie review until next school year, so we decided to do a throwback review. This week we are going all the way back to 2008 with possibly one of the funniest movies of all time. You might know it as Step Brothers. Step Brothers has a great cast including Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Adam Scott, and much more celebrities. This movie does not fail to make me laugh. I feel like there was a very funny scene at least every minute of the movie. I'll explain the plot of the movie so that you understand. The movie starts with Nancy Huff, Mary Steenburgen, falling in love with Dr. Robert Doback, played by Richard Jenkins, and they decide to get married. They both have sons named Brennan Huff and Dale Doback. The families decide to move in together, and this is where the movie really begins. At first, the two sons don't seem to like each other, but one night when Brennan's jerk brother Derek doesn't stop bothering the two, Dale punches him, and that's when Dale and Brennan start to get along. This movie begins to get better and better. The brothers make a rap video, build bunk beds, and even wreck their dad's expensive boat. After the family gets in a fight, the parents divorce, and the brothers get in a separate fight, which leads them to set out to find their own jobs. Dale runs a catering business, and Brennan works for his brother and helps set up the biggest event of the year, the Catalina Wine Mixer. The brothers reunite at the wine mixer, and the parents do as well, and then the brothers end the movie off with a bomb musical performance. Now it's time for the weekly rating. I give this movie a 3 million lemon heads out of 10 of my dad's boats. Thank you for watching this school year's final movie review. I'm Clint Ivey, and you're watching WHSH TV.
Thank you very much, Clint. An excellent job all year reviewing some great movies, and that is definitely a classic. One final note on news today, the commencement ceremony at Washington High School is set for Saturday afternoon, May 25th, 1 week from this Saturday, as seniors will graduate here at WHS. A reminder, WHSH TV this year is proud to bring you live coverage of the graduation ceremony Saturday, May 25th. It begins at 2 p.m. If you cannot make it to the Hatchet House to salute the graduates, you can tune in live to watch our ceremony beginning at 2 p.m. Saturday, May 25th, here on WHSH TV. Just go to YouTube and search WHSH Broadcasting. When we come back, Angela Barnard has the latest in sports on this Thursday. You're watching WHSH TV.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Look at me. Hey. Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Good afternoon. With WHS Sports, I'm Angela Barnard. Last night, the Washington Hatchets suffered a tough loss with their third one-run loss in a row, falling to Sullivan 2-1. Kane Fox pitched a stellar performance, giving up just 5 hits and throwing 82 pitches and no walks, but it wasn't enough as the Hatchets evened their mark to 11-11. Washington will be at home to celebrate senior night tonight against North Davies. First pitch is set for 5 p.m. The Washington softball team held South Knox to just 1 run through 5 innings before falling short to the Spartans at home 10-1. Washington will take on the winner of Vincennes and Jasper in the semifinals of the Jasper softball sectional next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Tonight, the boys track sectional will be held at Princeton. The Washington Hatchets and several other teams will compete to move on to regional. Good luck to the Hatchet runners. In girls tennis, the defending sectional champions from Vincennes sectional last, the Washington Lady Hatchets will take on Vincennes tonight in the semifinals. The other semifinal match will pit Washington Catholic against Vincennes Rouet. And Magic Johnson and Larry Bird will be honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the NBA Awards program June 24th. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the meeting of the 1979 NCAA championship game that many will never forget. Michigan State went on to beat Larry Bird's squad. It is still the highest rated game on television in college basketball history. The San Jose Sharks took a 2-1 lead in the NHL's Western Conference after topping St. Louis 5-4 in overtime at St. Louis. Controversy marred the Sharks' win as the officials missed a hand pass that went on to be a goal for San Jose. And at the ballparks, the Cubs gave up a heartbreaker to the Cincinnati Reds last night in Cincy 6-5 in 10 innings. Yu Darvish threw a ball very well for the Cubs. The Cubs and the Reds will continue the series today. The Braves shut out the Cards yesterday 4-0. And that is a wrap for sports this week. Reporting for WHSH TV, I am Angela Barnard. We will be back right after this.
Thank you very much, Angela. Great job. And with JJ Brown, I'm Dwayne Shake. Our students did a great job behind the scenes today as we wrap up another school year at another edition of WHSH TV. We still got it, JJ. JJ is student. First year when we started this class. And first time he's been on the camera since then. Angela's debut here today as well. On behalf of the class of WHSH TV, I want to thank you for joining us and remind you to tune in on Saturday, May 25th for the graduation ceremony as it will get underway 2 p.m. live here on WHSH TV. Good afternoon, everybody.